Jai Hind everyone. My name is Bihari Nandan Pandey and I am a faculty in CSC department in Ajay Kumar Garg Engineering College. And today I am going to discuss the topic of self-exploration as the process of value education, which is basically the subject part of universal human values. If you are talking about universal human values as the subject name, you will see that it contains the universal human values, the values which is for human being and that must be universal. So we are discussing that kind of content in this particular subject. And now I am going to discuss the topic of self-exploration, which is the basically process of value education. And one thing I want to tell you that this process is very important during the whole particular subject, during study of all the subject. This process is very important because we are going to provide that process only through which you are able to understand the things which is right or wrong for you and you are able to apply those things in your life. So if you are talking about the process, so what is the basically process? We are presenting everything and whatever we are delivering in this particular subject, that is a kind of proposal. That is basically proposal. It is not any enforcement or any steady content which you have to follow. No, it is a kind of proposal and your responsibility is what you have to take care that do not assume it to be true or false, because whatever we are proposed, firstly you have to verify on the basis of yourself. And what is your basis? What is your own right? That is basically natural acceptance. We are calling it natural acceptance. So on the basis of natural acceptance, you have to verify the proposals and then apply it into living. If you are getting the outcomes which is given in the proposal when we are expending this content, then definitely the understanding of proposal, verification of proposal, experiential validation of proposal, everything is going in a particular form. But if it has not happened, definitely we have to re-evaluate the whole process. Either the particular proposal I have just verified in correct way or not. After verification, I have applied this particular content in correct way or not. So these are the particular things. So during this whole lecture, I am going to discuss the process. And one important thing, it is a process of dialogue. It is a process of dialogue, and that dialogues will be started with me and you. Initially, I have to give in some particular proposals to you, and after that, that particular dialogue is established in yourself in terms of what you are and what is naturally acceptable to you. So we will just explore this content in this lecture. So what is this particular process? So it is a process of dialogue. तो ये एक संवाद की प्रक्रिया है. Why it is called संवाद? Because everybody is involved. Involvement is there. I am also involved, and you are as an audience is also involved in this particular part. So it is a process of dialogue. Initially, it is started between me and you, and after that, what it happened? It soon becomes a dialogue. Self-exploration within your own self. यानी एक समय ये dialogue मैं start करूँगा, आप तक पहुँचाऊँगा, और एक समय के बाद ये dialogue आप में ही establish हो जाएगा, और इसी process को कह रहे हैं self exploration. The important thing, what kind of dialogue is established in between you, basically within you. So that dialogue is in the form of this particular communication. First, what I really want to be, that is my natural acceptance, my intention. And the second thing, what I am, what my current state right now, what I am. If you're talking about this dialogue, initially we are giving the proposals. So like I am giving a proposal. What do you want to live? Through which particular feeling? The feeling of relationship or feeling of opposition? So if you are communicating this particular part with you and I'm asking that you want to live with feeling of relationship or feeling of opposition, then what is the answer? Definitely the answer is feeling of relationship. Why? Because it is my natural acceptance. It is naturally acceptable to me. That's why I want to live with that. But when we are talking about what I am, means every time may I able to live with this relationship? Is it possible? Are we are able to manage this? No. Sometime we are living with opposition, sometime we are living with relationship. So अगर हम लोग बात करें ना, तो relationship is naturally acceptable to me. This is my natural acceptance. There is no question related to living with relationship. But what is the issue? When I am going to live, definitely sometime I am able to manage that relationship, but sometime I am not able to manage that relationship and opposition is arises. So ये जो dialogue है ना, कि हम जीना तो relationship से चाहते हैं, क्यों? क्योंकि ये मेरी नेचुरल एक्सेप्टेंस है, मैं ऐसा ही जीना चाहता हूँ, ऐसा जी के मैं कंफर्टेबल होता हूँ, लेकिन मेरे जीने में ऐसा कंटिन्यूटी में नहीं हो पा रहा है। अब अगर मैं रिलेशनशिप से जीना चाहता हूँ, तो आई वॉन्ट टू लिव विथ रिलेशनशिप एंड in living, I will just approach that particular part. Means I am able to live in relationship. Then this condition is called harmony. है ना? तो इसको हम लोग व्यवस्था कह रहे हैं, हैप्पीनेस कह रहे हैं। क्यों? क्योंकि जैसा मैं जीना चाहता हूं वैसा ही मैं जी पा रहा हूं। बट इफ इट इज नॉट, बेसिकली आई एम नॉट एबल टू मैनेज दिस थिंग, तो इसी को कह रहे हैं कॉन्ट्राडिक्शन। और ये कॉन्ट्राडिक्शन क्या है? व्हाट इज दिस कॉन्ट्राडिक्शन? What is this unhappiness? Basically, this unhappiness is contradiction with my natural acceptance, because I want to live with my natural acceptance. If any particular part of living, I am just violated my natural acceptance or aside my natural acceptance or ignore my natural acceptance, whatever has been happened, the outcome is in terms of contradiction and it is unhappiness and it is not naturally acceptable to me. So here two situations are there. The first, मेरी natural acceptance क्या है और क्या मैं अपनी natural acceptance के आधार पे जी पा रहा हूँ क्या? तो अगर मेरा जीना मेरी natural acceptance से मैच नहीं कर रहा है, तो मेरे अंदर अंतर विरोध जनरेट होता है, कॉन्ट्राडिक्शन जनरेट होता है, जो मेरे लिए अनहैप्पीनेस का कारण बनता है। अगर मैं अपनी नेचुरल एक्सेप्टेंस के बेसिस पे जीना चाहता हूं और वैसा जी पाता हूं, तो मेरे अंदर हार्मनी जनरेट होती है और उस हार्मनी से मैं हैप्पीनेस की स्टेट पे आता हूं। तो इंपॉर्टेंट बात है कि मैं जैसा जी रहा हूं, अगर वो मेरी नेचुरल एक्सेप्टेंस से मैच कर रहा है, इफ इट इज मैच्ड विथ माय नेचुरल एक्सेप्टेंस, देन आई एम इन हार्मनी, स्टेट ऑफ हार्मनी, इन स्टेट ऑफ हैप्पीनेस। इफ इट इज नॉट हैपन, देन contradiction is generated within me. But what I understood, the struggle is outside. The problem is that I am not able to live according to my natural acceptance. That is the basic problem. So this dialogue is very important. So important thing is what? Because what I am much aware about that. है ना? तो मुझे गुस्सा आता है, मैं चीज़ों को ठीक से देखता नहीं हूँ, मैं भूल जाता हूँ। Every time I am just discussing with other person ki please taking care about to giving work me because I am forget something and something. But I am aware about my natural acceptance. So this dialogue is very important. So you will see that the process of self-exploration is what? To establish that dialogue. Because your happiness is depend upon your natural acceptance. So important question is this: what is your state? Almost or every time you are be in the state of harmony, or most of the time you are in the state of contradiction? That is the remarkable question which you have to explore in yourself. And if you are in contradiction, then what is the reason of your unhappiness? That contradiction is the reason of your unhappiness, or the people, they are triggering that contradiction, that is reason of your unhappiness. So important thing, तो ये contradiction ही मेरे unhappiness का कारण है, और हमको ये समझ में नहीं आता है कि ये contradiction मुझ में generate हो रहा है, इसकी वजह से मेरे अंदर struggle आ रहा है। तो हम बार बार बाहर रेफरेंस देते रहते हैं। तो इस डायलॉग को establish करने का क्या तरीका है? What is the way to establish this dialogue? And the important thing, if the gap between my natural acceptance and my competence, that is called what I am, if it is going to less, then we are moving towards the harmony. But if it is not clear, means I am not aware about my natural acceptance, and every time I am not able to refer my natural acceptance in my living, then that gap is extended, and our contradiction part is going forward. So what we want happiness or we want unhappiness. So we have already discussed that our basic aspiration is what? That is continuity of happiness and prosperity in a particular UHV1 course, and previously we have discussed in human consciousness also. We have right understanding, relationship and physical facilities required for living or achieving this happiness and prosperity. So what, if you're going to apply this process, what we require? The first thing is required. The important thing, I'm not aware about my natural acceptance. So the first thing is required, I discover my natural acceptance. What second thing is required? The second thing is required, I become aware of what I am. Means every time if I am aware about my state, definitely every time I am just focusing that it is matched with natural acceptance or not. So firstly, we have to aware about natural acceptance, then become aware about what I am. And the third most important thing, I have to ensure this dialogue and ensure harmony within. Means evaluate myself, what I am, and at that time I am aware about my natural acceptance or not. If I am doing that thing, definitely this particular dialogue will be established in myself and I am moving towards the harmony. So this is the dialogue within, if you're talking about that. So this contradiction and this harmony, both is my part. Only the thing is that if I am aware about my natural acceptance, I am able to live in harmony. But if I am not aware about my natural acceptance, my particular living is contradictory with my natural acceptance and I am in a state of unhappiness. Now, if you're talking about this, because it is a process of self-exploration, self-investigation, so different requirement is there. If you're talking about the whole process is divided into 7 parts. Firstly, the process is going on in yourself. Secondly, you will just able to assimilate the whole particular process as understanding. And then lastly, you are expressing yourself outside in terms of behavior and work in very harmonious manner. So if you're talking about the whole process, so first thing, it is a process of dialogue. We have to start with the process, and a particular resource person or facilitator is giving the proposal to strengthen this dialogue. And after that, it soon becomes your dialogue. And your dialogue in which term? That is between what I am and what is my natural acceptance, what I really want to be. And that is basically called Swatva in Hindi. Swatva means Meri Vyavastha. What is the content or reference of harmony within me? That is basically my natural acceptance. If I am able to live with on the basis of my natural acceptance, definitely my living is in harmonious manner. So it is the process. So we have to start explore my natural acceptance. Then it is a process of self-exploration, self-investigation, and lastly, it is going to self-evolution. Because when you are applying this process, definitely you investigate yourself, because most of the time or sometime you will see that your living is contradict with your natural acceptance. So if any particular thing is happen in terms of contradiction, next time you may be much aware about that. And if such kind of incidences happen in your life, definitely you will be aware about your natural acceptance. So it is the process of self-investigation, because you are investigating yourself. You are able to live on the basis of natural acceptance or not. And finally, you are self-evolved, because this process is of yours, because it is called self-exploration. The whole process depends upon your particular exploration of natural acceptance. So you are self-referential, self-sustainable. That is the thing. Then if this thing is happened, means this is the process for knowing my natural acceptance. What is my sattva? मेरी व्यवस्था क्या है? इस व्यवस्था को समझने का ये first 3 step है. Then if you're talking about internally what will happen when you are going into the process of this understanding. So it is a process of knowing yourself, oneself, through the self, because self is able to understand the thing. Knowing nature and entire existence means you will be able to understand the whole existence by using this process. Then it is a process of recognizing one's relationship with every unit in nature and existence and fulfilling that relationship, because our natural acceptance is to live with relationship with every unit of nature. So that particular natural acceptance has been fulfilling by this process. And it is a process of knowing human conduct and living according to it. So human conduct means definite human conduct, निश्चित मानवीय आचरण. So because human conduct is not definite till the time. Why? Because he is not exploring himself. Okay, if he is able to exploring himself, definitely his living is going to be definite, his behavior work is definite, because his thought process, his understanding is going to be definite. So that is the process which is happening in our harmony. And the third part is what I am expressing outside. So it is a process of living in harmony within, that is called self extension. Living in harmony within, living in harmony with others, living in harmony with entire existence. So the outcome of this process is I am able to understand this natural acceptance, and I am able to apply it in my living. Definitely the outcome is what that is called self extension. So harmony everywhere, that is called. So scope of this course, if I am going to apply this particular self exploration process, you will get initially, firstly you are aware about your harmony, that is called swatva, your natural acceptance, then your thought and your process, your thought and your particular feeling, that is governed by this natural acceptance, and you have been self-organized, that is called swatantrata. And then you will live with harmony with outside world, that is called self-extension. So initial process is natural acceptance, means you have to aware about your natural acceptance. Second one is self-organization in yourself. Every time you are referring your natural acceptance, you are able to live with on the basis of natural acceptance. And third one is self-extension. You are living natural on the basis of natural acceptance, on the basis of harmony on the outside. And if it is happen in every human being, then harmony everywhere, that is called universal order. So this is the scope of this particular course. So this is the basic description of self-exploration. So what is the process of self-exploration? It is nothing. It is a process of dialogue. And that dialogue is started in yourself, within yourself. And if it is explored, it is expanded, definitely you are going at the level of definite human conduct. Now if you are going to define exploratory this self-exploration, so there are one particular part that is called content of self-exploration, and second part is called process of self-exploration. So if we are talking about content of self-exploration, basically it addresses two questions. The first question is what I want to achieve. What is my aim? What is my objective? What is my basic aspiration? What is my purpose? That is desire part. And second one is whatever purpose I have been defined in this particular content, how I want to achieve that. How do I achieve this particular purpose? Means what is the suitable program for this purpose? तो सबसे पहले पर्पज है, क्योंकि जब भी कोई काम करने जाते हैं, if we have purpose, then the reliability of program will be there. क्योंकि कोई पर्पज है तभी हम कोई प्रोग्राम बनाएंगे. तो हमको भूख लगेगी तब भोजन की आवश्यकता है. तो अगर भूख ना लगे, शरीर को भोजन की आवश्यकता ना हो, तो जितना भी फूड हमारा जनरेट हो रहा है उसकी कोई आवश्यकता नहीं है. तो भूख लग रही है, पर्पज क्या है? बॉडी का नरिशमेंट, भोजन का. तो इसीलिए शरीर में इसीलिए खाना उगाया जा रहा है, इसीलिए ग्रेन्स डेवलप हो रहे हैं, है ना. तो बेसिकली व्हाट इज माय डिजायर एंड व्हाट इज माय प्रोग्राम. तो यहाँ एक बेसिक क्वेश्चन आता है कि only these two questions are in life important or any other question is there. So sometime the people raise that question, why this is required. Okay, so if you are going to address this why, the important thing at last you are going to that what is there, because some process is there. You are just making questions. So like why the energy sun is there, so you are saying that some helium particular reactions are there. Then again you are investigating why helium reaction are there. Then you are finding some other chemical particular reaction. After that, if you are going to ask that question multiple time and continuously, at one time you are going that the things are is on their reality. We cannot create it and we are not creating it. The things is are there, the things is available on their own way. Means the existential reality is very definite. So these two questions are very important. So firstly we will discuss these two questions. Desire basically. So we have already studied in SIP, which is induction program in first year, and we have already discussed. Firstly, we want to become something. We want to become an engineer, become a doctor, a farmer, an artist, a teacher. तो हम लोग बहुत कुछ बनना चाहते हैं. But if you are asking about the motivation behind that, Why we want to become something? What is the answer? Basically, we want to do something because everything is kind of a skill. If you are getting an engineer, definitely if you are a mechanical engineering, you make some vehicles, you make some tools, you make some things. If you are a computer science engineer, you make programs. Definitely you want to do something. Important question, why we want to do something? Because you want to get something. But why you want to get something? Because you want to be happy and prosperous. So you will see that whatever I am become anything, I am getting anything, I am doing anything, but ultimately if I am not reached to this state that is called happiness and prosperity, then these particular achievements are remarkable or not. You may ask this question to yourself. And important thing, if you are getting this happiness and prosperity, what else is required? So you will see that if it is achieved, definitely the continuity is required. So that is called basic aspiration, because if you are getting this continuity of this happiness and prosperity, then after that, nothing is required. Because whatever is required, that is basically a form of this happiness and prosperity and its continuity. So the important thing to become something, to do something, to get something is the path, is only the way through which we will reach up to our basic aspiration. These are the steps. But if I'm not aware about this particular desire, this particular basic aspiration, if I'm getting stuck in any of the path, I become depressed. I thought that there is no way to live. Suppose I want to become an IIT engineer. I have prepared much, but I does not get admission in that IIT. What will happen? I'm going depressed. I'm not putting any other effort to finding out something, because I have just thought that my basic aspiration is to become an engineer which is passed from the IIT, who is passed from the IIT. So that is the problem. तो बनना important है, करना important है, पाना important है, या ultimately होना important? अगर हमको इस बात की क्लैरिटी हो जाए ना, तो जब हम बन रहे हैं तो हमको पता है कि बनते हुए भी हम हैप्पी हो सकते हैं. हैप्पी होने के लिए अगर बनेंगे तो आगे हैप्पी होंगे नहीं होंगे इसकी कोई पॉसिबिलिटी है या नहीं है, हम अपने से पूछ लें. लेकिन बनते वक्त भी हम हैप्पी होते हुए भी बन सकते हैं, हम हैप्पी होते हुए काम कर सकते हैं, हम हैप्पी होते हुए फैसिलिटीज को एंजॉय कर सकते हैं. लेकिन अगर ये सब करते हुए हैप्पीनेस को इंश्योर नहीं कर पाए तो कोई जरूरी है कि इन सबको करके ही हैप्पी और प्रॉस्परस होंगे? तो हैप्पी और प्रॉस्परस होना, दैट इज ऑल टाइम रिक्वायरमेंट, और इट इज डिपेंड अपॉन दीज पर्टिकुलर टारगेट्स. तो ये सब पाथ हैं. तो इंजीनियर बन के हैप्पी हुआ जा सकता है, कुछ करके हैप्पी हुआ जा सकता है, लेकिन अगर हैप्पी नहीं हुए तो ये सारे पाथ्स गड़बड़ है. और अगर कोई एक पाथ गड़बड़ होता है और हमको अपने बेसिक एस्पिरेशन की क्लैरिटी है, देन व्हाट वी हैव टू डू, वी हैव टू स्विच द पाथ, वी कैन चेंज द पाथ. ओके, तो लाइक एग्जांपल है कि अगर आप बस से कहीं जा रहे हैं, है ना, और बस खराब हो गई, तो ऐसा थोड़ा ना है कि उस बस को चेंज करके आप दूसरी बस नहीं पकड़ते हैं. सिमिलर में कि अगर आप कुछ बनना चाहते हैं और नहीं बन पा रहे हैं, तो टारगेट तो फिर भी है, आपको स्पष्ट अगर है कि मेरा बेसिक एस्पिरेशन हैप्पीनेस और प्रॉस्पेरिटी की कंटिन्यूटी है, तो कोई इश्यू नहीं है. लेकिन अगर हमको ये क्लियर नहीं है, तो ये जो पाथ है उसके ना, मैं उसमें स्टक हो जाता हूँ. और अगर मैं उसमें स्टक हो जाता हूँ तो मेरे लाइफ में निराशा आ जाती है. और निराशा का मतलब इतना ही है कि मैं अपनी हैप्पीनेस और प्रॉस्पेरिटी की कंटिन्यूटी को खुद इंश्योर नहीं कर पा रहा. तो अगर डिजायर को देखा जाए इस बात से ना, तो हमारा डिजायर क्या है? तो अल्टीमेटली हमारा डिजायर हैप्पीनेस, प्रॉस्पेरिटी और इसकी कंटिन्यूटी है ना. इसके बाद इसके प्रोग्राम की बात करेंगे, लेकिन प्रोग्राम की बात से पहले जो इंपॉर्टेंट पार्ट है उसको प्रोसेस की बात करते हैं. तो व्हाट इज द कंप्लीट प्रोसेस of this particular self exploration? We have earlier discussed, but we can finally conclude it in the complete way. So what is the process? The process is whatever is stated is a proposal. तो जो भी कहा जा रहा है वो एक प्रस्ताव है. तो अभी हमने कहा कि भाई आपके डिजायर कंटिन्यूटी ऑफ हैप्पीनेस एंड प्रॉस्पेरिटी है. इट इज ए प्रपोजल, यू कैन वेरीफाई इन योरसेल्फ. ओके, देन यू विल जस्ट थिंक दैट कि इट इज नेचुरली एक्सेप्टेबल टू यू और नॉट. तो व्हाट इज द प्रोसेस? प्रपोजल है, वेरीफाई करना है, मानना नहीं है ना. और मानना नहीं है तो करना क्या है? तो नेचुरल एक्सेप्टेंस के बेसिस पे इसको वेरीफाई करना है. तो पहला टेस्ट हो गया verify on the basis of your natural acceptance, the proposal, whatever proposal is given. Then the second test is what you have to experientially validate it, means live according to the given proposal. If behavior with human being, you are getting mutual happiness, and work with rest of nature, you are getting mutual prosperity, then it is okay. Okay. Then it means you have verified the proposals in correct way. You have applied this proposal in living correct way, then only you are getting these particular outcomes. But if you are not achieving that, or something wrong happened during the whole process, then you have to discuss with the particular facilitator. Either it is proposal is wrong, or my process of particular verification is different, or something other. So if I'm talking about this, so some questions are there. Which process is naturally acceptable to you? Because we are talking about verify on the basis of natural acceptance. Which process is naturally acceptable to you? The process, whatever process we have discussed earlier, or a process of do's, don'ts, dogma, and the things we are getting without verification. If you will explore in yourself, you will getting within the time that this process is very appealing and very important, and it is naturally acceptable to you. Why it will looks? Because you are the owner of in that particular process. You are self-referential in that particular process. The important thing, what is natural acceptance basically? The most important thing, how we understand this natural acceptance. Now I am discussing that, what is natural acceptance. So there are two terms. One is acceptance and another one is natural acceptance. If I am talking about acceptance, acceptance means what one accepts under the circumstances, influences. Okay, whatever current situation is there, whatever other thing is there, that is called acceptance. What is natural acceptance? It is my nature, innate nature. That is naturally acceptable to me. Like example is given. Your acceptance might be sometime respect, sometime disrespect. But what is your natural acceptance? That is always respect. Okay. Like second example, if you are talking about your natural acceptance is nurturing of the body. Even if in your effort, you are not able to nurture your body. But whenever we asking you that what is naturally acceptable to you, nurturing of the body or damage of the body, what answer come? Definitely nurturing of the body. So this is natural acceptance. Then what is attributes of this natural acceptance basically? Because natural acceptance does not change with time, does not change with place, does not change with person. But acceptance might be changed. So your food selection may be changed time to time. But for nurturing of the body, your natural acceptance cannot change in any time, any age, any place. Okay. So what are the attributes of this natural acceptance? So the characteristic of natural acceptance, it does not change with time, it does not change with place, it does not change with individual, means it is universal. The second thing, it is a part and parcel of our every human being, and it is same for all of us. The second part is, it does not affect outside events, outside things, likes, dislikes, preconditionings, situations. No, it is innate. It is constantly there. We do not create to it, and it is definite. So these are the characteristics. That's why in the process of self-exploration, the particular basis is taken as natural acceptance, because it guides you in a very natural way. Every time it gives you a correct reference. Okay. So in this lecture, I have already discussed what is content of self-exploration. So content having what is the desire hour, happiness, prosperity, and continuity. What is the process of self-exploration? And that process is very important, and I am telling you the last important thing. We are only convey and practicing this process, emphasizing this process during whole process, during giving these proposals. So if you are able to understand this process, then it is okay. So this time I am discussing this. Next time I will discuss the next topics. Thank you very much.